Did I get any karma, though? Do I have enough karma? Crew advancement available. As you lead your team through the shadows, your companions will continue to develop and learn new combat skills. Clicking the icon in the lower right-hand corner of the screen will open the crew advancement menu. When this icon is highlighted, one or more of your companions is eligible to learn a new combat skill. At each advancement level, you may choose one or two possible combat skills for each of your runners. Choose wisely. Okay. Here we go. Eager weapon specialist, sniper specialist, shotgun specialist. I don't know. Maybe we can make her start doing shotguns, because my character Beto is probably gonna try and be the ranged sniper, so he can stay out of being in harm's way. And Eager's probably got more of the health for it, so. Eager gains the shotgun ability that imbalances targets, making them easier to hit on subsequent attacks. Cost 1 AP, cooldown 2. Yeah, I don't like Blitz having a shotgun. Yeah, let's confirm these selections. Okay. Okay, we get Blade Specialist. No, we're gonna go Augment Spell Electro Core. I've been using that a whole lot. Dietrich's Electro Core spell now strips 1 armor from it. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Dietrich's gonna be the mage, dude. Glory, Razor Specialist, Pistol Specialist. Glory has... I'm trying not to keep anyone within melee range, so... We'll go with Pistol Specialist. There's just not enough cover for everyone, though, so maybe making someone... A melee person probably be an idea. I don't know. Okay, like, did I confirmed everyone's progress? Yeah. Okay. So I guess I did all the things I need to. What about? Well, I have 10 karma. Should we go ahead and spin it? Let's see what's going on in home base first. A hot double-decker chicken and waffle sandwich with powder shake over it. Oh my god, that sounds amazing. That sounds so good. Also, I think these Shadowrun Return series of games, they use the newer... Because you know how these RPG systems go. There's always new editions coming out. So, with that said, I mean, with these newer editions of Shadowrun, I bet these games use a newer edition, and the old, like, SNES and Genesis version use, like, the older versions of the systems. Oh, look at Blitz. Look at this nerd hanging out in front of the TV. Or his computer machine. Blitz looks up as you approach. The table beside him is littered with cigarette butts, a data jack cable dangles from his portable terminal set up by his side. Hey, Chief, you need something? Any thoughts on that last run you'd like to share? Well, Chief, I wasn't around for most of it, but you got me out of that hotel, and for that you deserve my eternal thanks. Just checking in. You doing all right? His smile widens. Great, Chief. I'm doing just great. It's real nice to be able to wind down and relax for a change. No more worrying about this ganger or that ganger sneaking behind me and slipping a knife between my ribs. He slaps the table with a grin. It's a good change, Chief. I've got to say. No one is ever really safe, not when gangs are involved. Don't let your guard down. Glad to hear. We're happy to have you on the team. Of course you are. He gestures at himself with a flourish. What's not to be happy with? Now that you're all settled in, I've got some questions for you. Blitz glances wistfully back at the terminal on the table, then glances back with a sign of resignation. I suppose, but try to keep it short, okay, Chief? I got things to do. How long were you in Dragon Keep? I ended up there after the anarchist revolution of 39. I was just a kid back then, too young to realize how good I was, how much money I could have made working the shadows. He shakes his head, a wistful expression on his face. And so being young and dumb, I fell in with the gang crowd, and that was that. You're a member of a drug gang. Why should I trust you? Why wouldn't you, Chief? I mean, just look at me. He does his best to give you a winning smile. I'm a trustworthy guy. Prove it. Tell me you got the gang you ran with. Jeez. These conversation choices make me kind of an asshole. Well, I don't know all that much, Chief. I wasn't a member of a gang leadership or anything. I'm not really sure why you care either. Consider it a test. And you know what? On second thought, don't. I'll leave you be. Good call. He turns back to his terminal. Take care, Chief. I like how we've got like a random suit of armor hanging out in here. Hey, Dante, what's up, buddy? Look down and see a pair of bright eyes set to a scruffy face looking back up at you. Dante, Monica's old dog. Looking down into those huge brown eyes, you see intelligence and sadness. On some instinctive level, he must know that his master is gone. Dante lets out a small whine, then rubs his head against your leg. Pet him. Doggy gets all the pets. I'm not gonna give him any orders. Talk to Dietrich. Like, hey Dietrich, what's going on, dude? Hey, boss. Dietrich gives you a slight nod. What can I do for you? Any thoughts about the last run you'd like to share? Well, we found winners. That's something, I guess. This whole thing has me feeling uneasy, boss, but at least we have a direction to look in. How are you holding up? You seem to take Monica's death harder than I did. Other than others did. Dietrich shakes his head, a wistful expression on his face. Nah, no harder. But I'm less buttoned up than the others are. Eager will never let herself show any weakness. And Glory, well, she's too full of chrome to feel much of anything. What do you mean by that? Me? I don't give a damn. I've spent too much of my life putting on a show for others already. I used to front a punk band, way back when. Believe it or not, I spent a pretty good chunk of my life on stage. He looks like it. He's got the tattoos for it, and like he's definitely got this Sid Vicious look on his face. Whenever we weren't playing, I was giving up to our fans' expectations. Spouting off, getting into fights, getting drunk, getting laid. Not a bad life, all things considered. What was your band called? Maybe I've heard of it. Oh, I doubt it, boss. We never got any airplay. Come on, Dietrich, tell me. Alright, boss, if you insist. The band was called Messerkampf, spelled just like it sounds, in big capital letters with an exclamation point. I hope that's not like a bad word or anything. that'd be a bad. G.G. Allen. Nobody knows about G.G. Allen. I'll kill him. We weren't a big act or anything. We sold a few records here and there, toured around Europe. We had a decent following in England, and we holed up in London from 31 to 36. Spent most of our time slumming it around the East End, and picked up enough Cockney to irritate the folks back home. He shakes his head. Truth be told, the whole chapter of my life is a bit of a blur. We did it for the fans or the fame. We sure as shit didn't care about money. All that mattered to us was staying young, drunk, and angry. It's a good time. He takes a moment to examine his gnarled hands, a sad smile on his face. We managed a second to. Good God, where was the time gone? Dietrich shakes himself from his reverie and looks back up at you. That familiar, easy grin returns to his face. Well, anyway, boss, everything ends eventually, and I washed my hands of all this years ago. So let's change the subject if you don't mind. Wait a second, you can sing. How did you go from fronting a band to running the Shadows? Wasn't as big a leap as you'd think. I already had a healthy disrespect for authority, and I had the magic to back it up. Our nice thing about shamanism, as long as you keep your idol happy, it doesn't matter what else you do. The Dragon Slayer chose me to be his servant, and as long as I was scrapping with someone bigger than me, he didn't care much whether I did it on stage or in the shadows. Tell me about the Dragon Slayer. That sounds fun. He shrugs. Not much to tell. He chose me when I was just a kid. I could always feel him in my heart, goaded me to laugh louder, hit harder, and get rowdier than the rest. Of course, my family didn't understand. But the hell with him, I thought. I knew I was destined for greater things. So I listened to him, and I cracked the skulls of a lot of bad people. He saw this and was pleased, and rewarded me with magic. And I use that magic to crack bigger, thicker skulls, and so on. He shrugs. Simple life, but a good one. Wait a second, you can sing? He regards you with a critical eye. I was the frontman for a punk band, boss. Fuck no, I can't sing. He grins, but I wasn't half bad at riling up a crowd. So long, Dietrich. He nods at you. Take it easy, boss. Let's see if... Oh, I love that Dante... Oh, here's the stash. In stash, no. Let's put the drugs away for now. Bliss, tranquilizing narcotic. Oh, nice. That's actually really good. These drugs are actually really good. Let's throw in a Cavalier grenade. We're gonna need that. I think that'll be good for me right now. Let's check the computer. What does the computer say? Your workstation, blah blah blah. We read this already. Check your inbox for new messages. You have no unread messages. Access the Shadowlands BBS. Have we gotten anything? Claim payment for sold data, please. Oh, that pay data we got sold. 550 yen, escrow fee, 495. Okay, we're getting some money. We're getting some money. Post pay data for sale. I don't have anything. Search BBS for relevant keywords. Who is Blutz? I think that's the name. I'm still recovering the logs. This hot dogger just thrashed my Lantrid hosting server. Sounds like some kid pissed over his cartoons getting canceled. Left a bunch of garbage files all over my disk and I'll be cleaning them up all day. They should have make you pass a dumbass test before you're allowed to deck in this town. Step up your security. Write some wide IC programs if you can. At least make the kid stare and hair stand on end for a few hours next time he tries it. Definitely blitz. Just check to make sure your IC is quick. Heavy hitting IC is no good if it can't catch up with an intruder. A fact I take advantage of on a regular basis. Always running NCW like clockwork. Viewer of 2 are finished. I did have IC on the thing. Tracked the hole down. Grocery store. Across the street was piggybacking on my land. And they left an unsecured jack point in a bathroom stall. Old as hell maintenance jack in a fuse box, and my security ignored it. Mystery solved. Shadowland isn't your personal tech support board, Lumens. Glad to see you fixed your own problem. Only way you're going to learn. These are whole ass internet threads. Killer in Seattle? Anyone else reading about this? City's got Lone Star contract and they can't catch the guy. This Emerald City Ripper has been on a spree for so far, no one has a clue. Hold on. Pathetic. If something like that happened on my block, some vigilantes would have tracked him down and stopped him. Shows how good state payroll cops are. Who says it's a he? They don't have any leads. Ha! I'll be in Seattle next week. FWD any info you have about this Ripper, and I'll see about taking him out for a date with my Walter MA 2100. I'm sure Lone Star will have a fat reward waiting for whoever blasts this goon. No, we're posting this thread. Where to find elves? This should be good. Is there any elf clubs or bars in the downtown area? I really want to meet one. They're just so beautiful. Maybe we can go dancing. Do elves like dancing? What's up, Compendium? Yeah, we're playing some Shadowrun. We're reading the internet forums right now. There's one in Torstrasse. Bring a bouquet of roses. Elves love a romantic. The elf clubs I know of are members only due to creepy groupies like you. Not really appealing when a guy is only after them for the shape of their ears. Dang. Thread. Client screwed me. Benno is a fraud. I broke my first rule. Always get full payment up front. Left me hanging for 50% of the cash after I completed the job. I'm sure he'll change his name by the time this posting goes up. Male elf, brown hair, gold eyes. Look to be in his mid-30s. Be careful who you work with out there. Never thought I'd see you admit to a mistake on here. Thanks for the heads up. I'll keep my eyes open. We'll forward any info I come across if you're looking to collect from the guy. I guess that's what FWD is forward. Sent you some surveillance footage. Is this your man? Oh, Blitz. Sure is. Nice one. I'll split the take with you if the lead pans out. Good to find there's still some honor among runners. No more posts on this thread. Nope. Okay. Let's go talk to Glory. Beto, what do you need? Hey, Glory. How are you holding up? Don't worry about me. I'm solid. If you say you're good, you're good. I trust you. I have a question for you, Glory, of the personal kind. Okay, no, I won't pry into her stuff. Eager, you want to talk to me yet? Eager looks to face you. There's a pained look on her face. Look, I owe you an apology. I'm listening. When Monica died, I was pissed. That probably doesn't come as a huge surprise, but I took that anger out on you, and I shouldn't have. Seeing Winter's body like that was enough to convince me. You couldn't have done anything to help Monica, and I couldn't have either. We're dealing with something new. Monica was a friend of mine. Her death hurt. I got carried away and I said some things that I shouldn't have. I want to apologize for that. Her body relaxes. She begins to turn away. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. There are a few things I want to say. She stops and turns back to face you. You can see the wariness in her eyes. Go ahead. Nobody's stopping you. You're a valued member of this team, Eager. We need you now more than ever. I'm glad you're on my side. I'm trying to be a nice guy. I'm trying to be a nice Shadowrun team leader here. She raises a hand to stop you. The expression on her face has gone from cautious to annoyed. Cut the bullshit, fearless leader. I don't respond well to flattery. I wasn't trying to flatter you, Eager. I only want to tell you how wonderful and valuable I am. Yeah, I got that part. I know that you've given me a pat on the head. I suppose that you can expect me to fall in like a good little soldier. Not really. You know, there's nothing easier or more hollow than an empty compliment. It's cheap manipulation, and I'm going to see right through it. Alright, bitch. She turns away. You should go. I've got prep work to do for our next run. And you've got more important things to do than watch me pack my gear. Okay, I think that's everyone. I don't know if we should explore all these backstories or not. Let's talk to Amsel. Amsel's expression is harder than you've seen it before. When he speaks, his voice is grim. Ear has told me of Green Winters' death. She said that he died in the same manner that Monica did. It wasn't a pretty sight. Amsel nods gravely. I know that you and Eager have had your differences. I will tell you that she was badly shaken by the sight of Winters' body. She also mentioned that you found something in Winters' safe. A package full of very old discs. May I see them? Hand over the discs, of course. Good God. Gingerly, Amsel lifts a disc from the bundle and holds it up to the light. Slowly, he begins to turn it in his hand, causing rainbow patterns to shimmer across its surface. I haven't seen one of these since I was a boy. This is a DVD-RW, a data storage medium from the mid-2000s. I'm amazed that Winters was able to find a device that could play it. Do you know how we can read these things? He puts down the DVD in his hands and quickly inspects the others. The first disc that I looked at might be readable. The others are damaged, some severely so. I have my doubts about them. For now, let's concentrate on the undamaged disc. There's a little shop outside the data haven. Talk to the proprietary, Malit Holye. She might be able to help. Tell her to put the cost of the device on my account. I'm on it. Well, before we do that, let's look at our karma. Let's spend some karma. Let's throw in this quickness. Use calculate chance to hit in ranged combat. Excellent, excellent. What do you have? 3 left? Physical attacks. I'm trying not to get physical, so. What can I spend 3 karma on? There's dodge, close combat, strength, intelligence maybe? Willpower. Willpower might be good. Charisma. You know what? Let's just dump. Maybe we'll just keep. You know what? Let's save that 3 karma and see if we can dump it into higher quickness on the next run. I think that's what we're gonna do. I kind of want to put more into charisma, but I don't know. We might just start dumping everything into rifle and just let it happen. Let's save. Let's save before we go anywhere else. Oh, I can't save. Okay, cool. Let's go find the DVD player. There's actually a side quest to go find a DVD player, which is, I don't know, that's cool with me. Let's zoom out and see where we can find this thing. Oh. There it is, right there, right around the corner. Ishmael's Wall, Israel's Wall, and Remaster? I can't tell what that says. Alright, what you got? Welcome back, what can I do for you? Item broken drone. I acquired this drone. Can you get it up and running again? Yeah. Yeah, probably. It might take a bit of doing, though. I love working on these old crap drones. Can't make any guarantees, but either way, it's on the house. Alright. I'll leave it in your hands. I'll start on it right now. See you later. Hang on a second. There was something else that I wanted to talk to you about. I'm looking for something that can play back a DVD or W. Really? That is old tech. Very old. In fact, just a moment. I'll go look. She turns to rummage through a bin of obsolete components at the back of her stall. Ah, yes, here we are. The dwarf wrestles a mid-sized flat-screen display out of the bin. This display has old enough hookups to connect to a DVD player. RCA, you know. Vintage. The player itself, though, this I do not have. You may wish to try your luck down at the junkyard. There's a scavenger there. I'm part of a man with a crude disposition. If anyone here in the Cruise Bazaar can help you find your DVD player, he can. But he'll almost certainly attempt to overcharge you for it. She takes a deep breath and smiles up at you. But you are not here for gossip. Shall we conclude our business? I could give you the display for, say, 200 new yen? Paul Amsel said charge it to his account. Thank you, Paul. Ah, very well. I will have it packaged up and delivered to Herr Amsel straight away. Best of luck trying to find your DVD reader. I wish you well. I love that that's a thing. Like, we have to find... a DVD reader. Did you ever read the Shadowrun series? No, but I've been meaning to. I know Pico de Guile is super about it, so I kind of want to... Shadowrun is such a cool setting. Shadowrun is such a cool setting. Like, I would definitely... I've only played this game and some of the older games, like the one on the Super NES. And I've played the tabletop version one time. I had a friend who ran a Shadowrun game a while back, and it was really cool. It was really cool. Like, this whole IP and this whole setting is pretty sweet. What's Kami doing? Who is this? She tips an invisible hat. Hey there, remember me from the cafe? Name's Kami. Are you looking for something? Depends. Is there anything I should be looking for? She titters. Titties. Volunteering information? That's bad for business. Unless Altug wants me to tell you something, but that's rare. I'm just his ears and hands outside of the cafe. He's got enough of a voice all by himself. He doesn't seem to be afraid to use it either. Not in the slightest. Since you've just moved here, I have some advice. If you haven't guessed already, he's got fingers in a lot of pies. There is so much innuendo with Kami here. I've seen what happens when he doesn't approve of someone or something. First 2 DVDs ever produced were Mars Attacks and Dante's Peak. Wow. I saw a, wow, I'm looking real dark. It's getting dark outside with this thunderstorm going on. Hey, Amanda, if you're there, what time do I need to start wrapping this up? 5:30? Do I have like another hour or so? Anyway. I saw recently on Twitter a whole stack of HD DVDs. Someone took a picture of their HD DVD collection and was like, well, this is a nice collection of obsolete equipment. Pissing him off can't be worth it. And at the very least, you won't be able to get good coffee in this town again. She grins cheekily. So what's the story between you and Altig? She grins and winks lasciviously at you? Lasciviously? I don't know. Oh, surely you've guessed. You're not serious. She laughs. I can't pull a fast one on you, can I? Well, I'll tell you the real story sometime. How about that? Right now, though, I have some errands to run. Come over sometime and we can chat over a hookah or something, yeah? She lazily tips an invisible hat to you before turning her focus to a comb on her wrist. Aw, she's a neckbeard. She's a neckbeard. Yeah, I remember that too, Crimson Wren. Like, I thought that was pretty sweet. I just want to find the gun guy. I want to update my guns. Simi, what does Simi send? Oh wait, I found the gun guy. Oh, this is the weirdo from last time. The girl with the chip in her head stands with her eyes closed, rocking back and forth. She looks so frail that a light breeze might knock her over, but she somehow stays on her feet. Whether by coincidence or some kind of pre-natural junkie awareness, she opens her eyes when you come near. I know you. Name's Beto. Try to remember it. I've lived 100 lives, and I remember everything. Simi Kim is what most people call me. They think I don't know why, but I do. Monica explained. How do you feel about Monica's death? Let's get right into it. Kim hugs her arms close to her body. Sad. She never got to have a family. She'll never get married. Never be a mother. Seems she was a mother to the whole Cruise Bazaar. Do you think of her as a mom? Maybe. Never knew my own. And Monica did take care of me. Monica said a mother is always a mother. Always. She hugs herself tighter and stares blankly at the ground. So what have you been up to? The girl absently fingers the chipjack in her temple. I wanted to escape with the children and the captain. We had to get away from the soldiers out of Austria. But it was wrong. All wrong. I was taking them over the mountains, but it was the wrong way. I know it was. It would have taken us straight into Germany, not Switzerland. We should have taken a train, gone to Italy. There we would have been safe. She's talking about her better-than-life simulations. She's addicted to basically being in VR chat, or the Shadowrun equivalent of VR chat. I didn't want it to end badly, so I turned it off. Zach sold me something new. In it, I feel strong. I have a son, and he's destined to save the world. I have to protect him. Because the machines have come back to kill him before he can become a man. I won't let that happen, because in there, I am strong. Though Kim's words are bold, her trembling voice and body betray something aching for a fix. I'll catch up with you another time. So we have all this money. Where's Gun Guy? Where's Gun Guy? I think Gun Guy's here. Get ourselves a little bit of an equipment upgrade. There's Gun Guy. He even got gun in his name. Gunare Metbach. I have cash and I need weapons. Show me the goods. Weapons, outfits. Alright, let's see here. We need AK-97. Ruger 100S. With Smart Link. Oh yeah, I think that'll do just nicely. Confirm. Oh yeah. 16 damage as opposed to 10. Back to the death of that, my friend of mine bought a bunch of HD DVD for almost nothing. Because he knew it was about to die, but Blu-ray wasn't saturated just yet, so it was neat for the time. Yeah, for sure. Sony finally got their... Sony's always got to release a proprietary format, and they finally got their victory in Blu-ray. And I blame this PlayStation squarely for that. Shrotty. A stout old man looks up from whatever old tech he's tinkering with to squint at you through thick, old-fashioned glasses. He doesn't have glasses in his picture. He pushes them up with an oil-stained finger as he straightens up to nod at you. He speaks with a gruff, but well-meaning tone, heavily accented with a German tonality. Guten Tag. What can I do for you? Malit tells me you're a man to speak about DVDs. Little Shrew sent you my way, huh? Shrotty's smile broadens. Will wonders never cease? Well, introductions are in order, I suppose. Shrotty Buckman, at your service. The old man raises a grimy hand in salute. Need something salvaged? Some old components? Velisht, I am indeed your man. Wonderful. How about that DVD player? Well, let's see. I think I've got something that'll work for you. Shrotty rummages through the junk heaped on the table behind him. A few seconds later, he snatches a battered plastic lozenge shape from the pile. Ah, here we go. An old Korean player that I dug up last week. 2010 model, a real beauty. Shrotty's smile broadens, and he gives you a conspiratorial wink. I fixed her up and got her running. But without any discs to read, I've mostly been using her as a paperweight. Sounds like what I'm looking for. How much do you want for it? Shrotty glances back at the DVD player, a rueful expression on his face. Well, I'll admit, I'm a little loath to part with her. There are plenty of folks out there who'd really appreciate an older player such as this, and I don't know what your intentions are for it. I suppose, given time and trouble it took putting her back together, they'd be willing to part with her for, oh, say... Shrotty's eyes dart over your gear, a calculated expression on his face. About 500 new yen? Oh yeah, and PSP. I've got a better idea. How about you give me the DVD player and we'll call it even strength. Hand over the cred stick? I don't want to spend money. I'm short on cash right now. Could I offer you something in trade? The old man pauses for a moment considering. I'll tell you what. A few months ago I had a, well, call it a difference of opinion with that Bergazzi fellow from the soy calf shop. He hasn't let me into his establishment since, and I'd sell my mother for a decent cup of coffee. You get me a cup of Turkish coffee, the real stuff, not that fake junk, and I'll give you the DVD player. Sound like a deal? That sounds like a deal to me. Alright. Let's go. So, this is such an exciting quest. We get to go retrieve a DVD player, and to do that we have to retrieve coffee. See if their TV that's designed to be the best to use for the PS5 is really the best case. I'm sure there's a Sony update. Probably. Oh, I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure about that, man. Menu board. Alright, let's see. The Turk leans into you, keeps his voice low. I have information regarding the matter my people were looking into, Effendim. The one involving the surveillance device on my data tap. Altug! I've been waiting for my coffee for nearly an hour already. Are you growing the beans out back? The coffee vendor shouts. Can't you see I'm speaking to an honored guest, you tower of quivering corpulence? His voice lowers again. Now then, as I was saying, we were fortunate that you happened upon that surveillance tap when you did. The people on the other end were planning a very bad thing, to be sure. Very bad thing? Quite bad, yes. Monica Schaefer was an important member of this community. More than most were aware of. This Keyes was under her protection. You know how it is in the Flux Effendum. The governance of a place like this is tenuous at best. You never know who is going to be in charge from day one to the next. But Monica was a stabilizing force. And not just because she was dangerous. She was smart and funny. And wise she had a way with people. They wanted to support her, to follow her, because they loved her. When she was killed, it left an opening for others. It would have meant bloodshed and pain. If this council had been allowed to continue with their plan, but they did not. We saw to it, you and I. What happened to them? They have been reasoned with. Let us simply say the matter is settled and leave it at that. The Cruise Bazaar will maintain its stability a while longer thanks to us. Nice. Now what can I do for you, Effendim? Would you like some coffee, perhaps? Coffee? As in real coffee? Not soy calf? Yes, for individuals of refined taste, I offer genuine bean coffee from my native Turkey. The cafe owner looks you in the eye. The tone of his voice grows low and serious. This is a top-shelf item, my friend. And not for the general public. Only for those few discerning connoisseurs who can properly appreciate it. I think I'm the sort who can appreciate it. Tell me about the Turkish coffee. It is handpicked by my family in Turkey, a true delicacy of the Sixth World. This was considered a luxury even before the awakening, when bean coffee was everywhere. Every street corner, they say. Barakgatsi leans in close, lowering his voice to a conspiratorial whisper. Long hours in the shop have perfumed his body with the commingled scents of coffee, incense, and applewood tobacco. Trust me, if your coffee experience has been limited to soy calf, you must not deny yourself this opportunity. You will see God. You will see God. Alright, you sold me. How much? This is a specialty item, delivered at some cost. I cannot part with it for less than 50 duyi a cup. Yeah, we'll do that. Fine. Very good. Bargatzi hands you a ceramic travel cup, which he then fills to the brim with dark, steaming liquid. The scent is intoxicating. Is there anything more I can get for you? Just killing time. I'll be going now. So 50 versus 500. I think I got a deal there. Well, Dirtmaster, have you let out the magic smoke? That's the question. Hero exclusive Hello Kitty LCD? I don't know. Okay, good. Well then you're fine so far. Alright. Schrade looks up at you from his work and nods. Hello again, mynheer. I'm a bit busy, but what can I do for you? I'm back for my DVD player. Well, it ain't yours yet, but I've got it right here. Been keeping it warm for you. And you got my coffee, or do you have the 500 nuyen? Turkish coffee. Hand him the coffee. I've got coffee for you. Ah, thank you. Schrade gratefully accepts the coffee, then snaps the lid back and inhales deeply, wiggling his mustache as he processes the scent. Yep, that's the real stuff, all right. Schrade gingerly picks up the ancient device from the table and presses it into your hands. The plastic is scuffed and warm, and it rattles a bit when you move it. Give her some good use, okay? Alright, we've got our DVD player. Let's go back to home base. Like I said, I'm not totally sure if you're doing like a hardware mod or software mod. I think you're doing just software and hacking. Being a hacksaw, basically. I think you got this, fam. I think you can do it. Alright, let's talk to Paul. It seems that Amzel has assembled a team in your absence. They stand in a group around the old display that you had Mallet deliver. On their faces, you can see excitement and apprehension, curiosity and dread. Beto, have you procured a DVD reader? Hand Amzel the DVD player. I have. It's right here. Good. This should only take a moment. Amzel disappears behind the ancient display. After a few minutes of fiddling with its battered inputs, he reappears, a satisfied look on his face. Everything appears to be functional. The disc should be ready to play. Oh yeah, same derp. I don't code either. I do all the other stuff, but coding's terrible. This is where you have to go out for a beanbag chair and popcorn. Popcorn too. We're gonna have a party. We're gonna have a DVD party. Well, don't keep us in suspense. Start the damn thing already. Beto went to the trouble of fetching everything. Let him do the honors. Lori knows what's up. Amzel steps back, clearing a path for you to access the antique machine. Does my character even know how to press play on this thing? This DVD player is probably the equivalent to the Apex from some vintage Jolt Cola. Oh, I used to drink Jolt. This is probably equivalent to those Apex players you'd find at like Walmart or something. The one that would play VCDs without any modifications at all. I've tried to like learn C and some other programming languages. I just can't get a... Granted, I've never like sat and really studied it, but I've looked it over and I'm like, I don't need it. I do all the other nerd stuff. I don't need to do coding as well. A soft whirring sound fills the air as the ancient DVD player spins the disc up to speed. The scratched LCD display comes to life and a menu fills the screen. Play track 1. The screen goes black and a cheerful digital chiming sound spills out of the display's speakers. A crackle of static fills the air, coupled with a shrill electronic whine. After a few moments, the display goes live and a disheveled-looking man appears on the screen. His eyes glitter with excitement. The timestamp on the screen is 2034, 9:15. Hermie, I think we found her. After all this time, Furschwing, I knew that she wasn't dead. Oh, the ancient dragon ain't dead. His speech is jittery. You can hear the urgency in his voice. She survived the Dragonfall, just as I always said. I knew it. I was right. The screen explodes into static and the electronic whine in the background sharpens to a needle-like pulse of high-pitched sound. Somewhere in the background, Dante lets out a low whimper. The screen clears, and the excited face is closer to the screen than it was before. The words spill out of him in a breathless tide. Taking a team into the socks to retrieve her, the radiation be damned. We will be appropriate precautions, of course, but we must go. Hermie, I think that the body may be ready nearby as well. Somehow she has survived for all this time. The screen explodes into static again, then clears. The figure flickers across the screen. May not be back for some time. Look after Mom, okay? I worry about her. And Hermie, stay safe out there. I know that things are heating up in Berlin, and I know you. Student protests, civil uprising. You'll be in the middle of it, I'm sure. Just stay safe, alright? And I'll do my best to do the same. I know what's going to happen when I step into the socks, but I do know one thing. If the Firewing is still in danger, I will put an end to her, once and for all. We are absolutely going to fight a dragon at the end of this, and that's dope. Play track 2. The screen goes black for a moment, then a figure appears on the screen. Your late client, Green Winters. His elbow is planted on the table that he's seated at, and his chin rests on his palm. The other hand is wrapped around a bottle of cheap whiskey. Is this me? Timestamp on the video reads 2053, 1225. Christmas. Whoa, look at this guy. Green Winters looks like a winner. Found the message Adrian left me all those years ago. Got it cleaned up as best I could. Strange hearing his voice again. He paused to take a long pull of the bottle. It's good to hear him, even if he did insist on calling me Hermie. Dr. Adrian Vauclair, the hero of the people, the Dragon Slayer. My brother. He grimaces and rubs his eyes. Hard to believe it's been almost 20 years. Dang. Alright, so, I'm gonna start recording these DVDs again, for me, for Adrian, for whoever might wind up watching them. Every time I do this, it winds up feeling like a waste of time, but I keep doing it anyway on the off chance that I'll find something important. If I stumble into the clue that leads me to my brother, I know that I'm gonna want it on film. I've been doing this for almost 20 years now, after all. No sense in quitting now. Christ. 20 years, all this time, and still no leads. Even with all my contacts and resources. Takes another long swallow of cheap liquor. Even with my legendary bullheadedness, I've made no progress at all. I haven't turned up a single goddamn thing. Want to hear something funny? The closest I've gotten to the clue was a rumor. Apparently a tame engaged from Socks a while back. Nobody's clear on the date, but... And get this. He leans into the camera, gives a conspiratorial wink. Supposedly they vanished without a trace. He upends the bottle, drains it, Slams it back down to the table, his eyes rimmed with red. Not much of a rumor, considering I already know that you're gone, big brother. I live with that every day. Abruptly, Winters leans forwards and reaches for something off screen. The display goes back. Like this. Boop. Play track 3. There's a grinding sound from the DVD tray, and Green Winters' image appears on the screen. There's an eager look on his face. Timestamp reads 2054, 1012. Stumbled upon this archival footage of Führerschwing's original attack. Months before the Dragonfall, easy to forget how devastating it was. Adrian saved a lot of people by bringing her down. I've got the footage all queued up to play, starting it now. Additional comments to follow. The slow whir of the DVD player shifts to a high-pitched whine. A distorted, wavering image blooms into being on the screen. A timestamp in the upper right corner of the screen marks the date. July 6, 2012. I don't remember this in 2012. This is cool we got this, though. They're actually showing us. It's difficult to make out what you're seeing at first. The scene is dark and smoky. The telltale flashes of emergency vehicle lights flicker on the periphery of the screen. The camera pushes in, and you can make out two figures standing in a ruined landscape. All at once, the sound cuts in. Again, for those of you just joining us, we are coming at you live from Stolberg. A few hours ago, the Dragon Führerschwing launched an unprovoked attack on the sleepy Harz mountain town. And you can see the results behind me. Fire, ashes, and blood. We are joined tonight by the survivor of the latest and most horrifying attack. The reporter turns to face a pale man standing behind him. Sir, I understand you've been through a terrible ordeal. Thanks for taking the time to speak to us tonight. The camera switches focus to a middle-aged man with a haunted look in his eyes. He stammers out a rep. This guy does not look middle-aged. That guy is definitely like late 20s, early 30s. Yes, of course. If you could, sir, could you please tell the people at home about your experience of the attack? It was horrible. Just pure chaos. So many people are dead. People I knew, roasted alive, or trampled to death trying to escape. My own house was burned to the ground during the attack. My family, we have nothing now. You all made it through the attack, though. Your wife? Your kids? Yeah, we all made it, thank God. We rode out the attack in a small shelter, me, my wife, and our 2 daughters. The shelter, it protected us, but the heat was just unbearable. We couldn't have stayed in there much longer than we did. How long were you holed up in there? 3, maybe 4 hours? I don't know. We just stayed inside until the heat died down and the screaming stopped. What happened after that? When it was over, you know, when the air cooled down, the reporter nods and the man continues. We stepped outside. There was nothing left, just smoldering wreckage, and a dense cloud of black, oily smoke, and the stench in the air. God, that smell. It smelled like roasting meat. There was a long pause. From the tortured look on his face, you can tell that the man is struggling to decide whether or not to continue speaking. Eventually, he does. My girls, they found what was left of their nanny outside. Her body, what was left of it, was slumped against the shelter door. I keep telling myself that I couldn't hear her pounding to get in, but that isn't true. I could. Ooh, snap! I just couldn't bring myself to open that door. I couldn't risk my family like that. Not for her, not for anyone. Thank you, sir, for taking the time to speak to us. Yeah, you heard it here. An absolute chilling account of tonight's attack. Again, the town of Stolberg has been reduced to ash. Another victim of the fire wing. Stay with us for more up-to-the-minute reporting on Führerschwing's reign of terror. Green Winter's face reappears on the screen. Okay, it's time for a new approach. Adrian's a complete dead end. That much is pretty clear by now. So I'm going to do some digging on Führerschwing instead. Let's see where this goes. The screen abruptly goes back to the video cuts off. A few minutes later, you find yourself returned to the menu screen. The slow whine of a DVD player is the slow whine of a beta player, for sure. It's just another Reign of Fire reboot. No! Play track 4. The DVD player ramps up to speed, filling the air with a shrill whining sound. Green Winters' image appears on the screen. The timestamp reads on the video 2054-1031. So this is a couple of days later. Well, that was a bust. Little progress on Fuhrschwing. He shakes his head. I don't know. It's weird. The information is there, it's just wrong. Somehow it's too well laid out, too simple. Real life is messy, and this feels just a little too neat. That's not the only thing that's nagging at me. I'm getting that tingly feeling all up and down the back of my neck again. It feels like I'm being tracked. I'm no Matrix hotshot like Clockwork or Schaefer, but I'm good enough to know when someone's on my scent. Gotta install some new security measures. Can't be too careful. Winters' images disappears. The display goes black. A few seconds later, the main menu returns. Play track 5. The display goes blank for a moment. Then the face of Green Winters winks into the screen. He is seated at a computer. Off to his left, an enormous monitor fills the screen. His voice carries an edge of panic. Timestamp on the video reads 2054-1109. Dude, look at this guy! Christ! I'm getting too close to something. There's a trail of bodies and there have been disappearances. Gearbox, Martian, Peregrine. They've all disappeared within the past few years. Gearbox just went AWOL yesterday, and they were all making the same sorts of inquiries about Firewing that I've been. That's a new profile picture. That right there. There are ghost stories spreading around the Decker community. Stories about Deckers disappearing, and then showing up again later, but wrong somehow. Scary stuff, and I'm starting to think that it's true. Blitz leans in to whisper to you. I know the stories he's talking about, Chief. Never really put much stock in them. Not until now. I think that meant to say stock in them. Could these rumors be related to what's happening here? Am I being paranoid? He pauses for a moment as if seriously considering the question. Then he shakes his head and slams his fist on the table. No, I don't think so. Something big is happening here, and I'm right in the middle of it. Eager cuts in. That's a bit of a leap. One other thing. Tolstoy told me the story about a kill team that might be related to all this. Apparently, a Decker named Hellbore posted a theory about Fuhrschwing to the Shadowlands BBS about 5 years ago. About an hour later, a mil-spec team showed up in Meat Space and cooked her entire apartment, with her in it. If what Tolstoy told me was true, Hellbore live posted the event. She described her killer, this great big orc with skin grafts. Then the whole thread disappeared, gone without a trace. So that's that chief of security. Leap, Eager love? Sounds like he's right on track to me. Eager holds her in silence, but concedes the point with a small nod. On the screen, Winters pauses. He looks like he's working up to something. Finally, he speaks. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. This has gotta be Fuhrschwing. All of it. Adrian was right about her. She's still alive, and she's out of the socks. She's covering her tracks, working the shadows, preparing to rise again. And that means I have to find you, Adrian, for everyone's sake. Thankfully, I've got a lead. The first time in 2 decades, I've got a single goddamn lead. I've backtraced all the Matrix nodes that Hellbore was looking into, back before she got cooked. Whoever's been purging the Matrix didn't think about that, and I found where that she turned up. Winter stabs a few keys on his keyboard, and an image expands to fill the screen of his monitor. A satellite photo of a rural landscape, annotated with GPS data, a set of map coordinates. So now I've got a target, a place to start digging, the Harfield Manor. Conveniently located on an isolated stretch of countryside, miles away from prying eyes. Matrix records indicate that some sort of data vault exists beneath this estate. That's what I need to get into. And this is where we came in. Yep. As if on cue, a familiar image winks into the monitor to Winter's left. Monica. I think I'm going to tap Schaefer for this job. She's got the skills to bypass whatever security they're running out there, and she's gullible enough to take the job in the first place. I'll feed her some line about flux state security, and she'll eat it up with a spoon. I warned her. Emma's voice is choked with rage. I warned her. On the display, Winters' mouth parts into a broad grin. Time to put plans into motion. By this time tomorrow night, I should have the information that I need. And on the off chance that Schaefer gets taken out, well, that'll tell me something too. Can't make an omelet and all that. Until then. So this dude did not give a shit. What an asshole. An extreme Dutch oven. You're terrible, cheeseburger guts. Winters' image disappears. The display goes black. A few seconds later, the main menu returns. Play track 6. When you play the 6th track, a small video window appears. You recognize the scene in the window. You were looking at the tattered drapes and nicotine-stained wallpaper of Winters' hotel room on Das Kessel House. The timestamp of the video reads 2054, 11:10. There's a blur of motion, and the haggard form of Green Winters lumbers into frames. Suspicions confirmed. Schaefer dead. Christ. Winters reaches a shaking hand off camera. The moment later, it returns to clutching a cheap plastic drinking glass. He gulps something down, wipes his mouth with the back of his hand, and takes a deep breath. Okay. Back up. Slow down. Start from the beginning. Winters closes his eyes and makes a visible effort to calm himself. When he speaks again, his voice is steady. Got the call from my contact in Cruise Bazaar. Schaefer killed on the estate run. Matrix security at the estate cooked her brain. Considering Schaefer's skill and experience, on-site IC must have been extreme, even by Berlin standards. Security of that kind costs money. Real money. Given the evidence uncovered so far, corporate involvement unlikely. The connection to the fire wing is too strong. So, let's come right out and say it. The dragon is what we're dealing with here, and the smart money says that she's coming for me next. Well, I won't go down without a fight. I've still got my contacts, still got my connections, and the flux stick can be a hell of a weapon for the man who knows how to manipulate it. Winters takes another long pull from his glass, grimaces and swallows. Time for me to make my play. Ghost stories or no. Missing Deckers or no. I've got to jack into the Matrix and start pulling strings. The countermeasures that I installed earlier should be more than enough to keep me safe for the 20 minutes I'll be in there. About that, Winters drains the rest of the glass, then tosses it back over his shoulder. A moment later, you hear the dull clattering sound of hard plastic on linoleum. Schaefer's death was tragic. She was a staunch supporter of the F-state, but still, all things considered. Winters fishes for something off-screen. A moment later, his hand reappears, clutching a data jack cable. Better her than me. He plugs the cable under his head and the screen cuts to static. Eject the DVD. As your finger runs near the eject button, a black screen cuts in over the static. A moment later, Green Winters' haggard face appears. If you're watching this, then I guess they caught up to me. They will be after you too now. Blitz whispers into your ear again, more harshly this time. What the hell is this? Why didn't you warn me about this before I came here? Hey everybody, Blitz is... We didn't know. Not exactly. Not exactly? I didn't come here to get hunted by a dragon. I'm not even part of this. You are now, whether you like it or not. So quiet down and stop bothering him. Whoever you are, whatever you think you're after, you need to find Dr. Adrian Vauclair. Not because he's my brother. Because if Feuerschwing is on rising again, he's the only one who can stop her. You've seen what happens to people who get too close to this. I'm dead. Dozens of others have died. You'll be next, unless you can find Adrian. The string cuts back to static. The message is over. The DVD tray slides out of the reader. Well. What is... Let's go back to Paul. The room goes quiet as everyone struggles to process what you've just seen on the DVD. Finally, Dietrich breaks the silence. A dragon. Son of a bitch. Green Winter sent us up against a dragon. The Fire Wing. Emsel's voice is thick with dread. She lives. I'm really starting to regret the fact that I didn't just stay at the hotel. Eager ignores him. Wait a second. We don't know for certain. Dietrich lays a hand on Igor's shoulder. The evidence seemed pretty convincing to me, love. I'll even take it a step further. I think that secret facility that we stumbled into was her lair. The room falls silent. Igor and Glory exchange glances. After a moment, Dietrich continues. Just think about it. The Decker that Winters got those coordinates from was posting about Fuhrschwing. Then she was killed by the same orcish bastard that attacked us after Monica died. That's a direct link between the dragon, the scarred orc, and the Harfield Manor. And then Winters was killed by the same thing that killed Monica. Exactly. My gut tells me that dragon is down there, Beto. Someplace far beneath the surface. I think that we knocked on the door to her lair without even knowing it. And I think that, given what we've seen, the dragon will do whatever it takes to keep us quiet about it. Okay. Going on the assumption that there is a dragon and that she will come after us, what do you propose we do about it? I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to follow Winter's advice. We're going to find Valclair. I say keep things simple. We head back there, kick in the door, and kill the dragon. Nope. Anyone have any suggestions? What we need is information. I think we should pick up where Winters left off. We need to find Valclair. And how are you planning to do that? Winters spent 20 years searching for him, and I got him nowhere. With the help of an information broker. Let me guess, back to the coffee shop? For this? No. While Herr Bergazzi is very capable, a task of this magnitude is beyond him. We need to make contact with the premier information broker in Berlin. We need to talk to Alice. Alice DJ? Blitz scoffs at Emsel. Alice? Best of luck, and I hope that you're rich. Emsel raises an eyebrow. For this? Rich enough, even if only just. Who is this Alice? A most prominent figure in Berlin's shadow community. Ex-Schockelwedel. She provides information retrieval services for the F-State. Amsel turns to the computer console behind him, runs his fingers over a virtual keyboard. The machine begins to hum. If Winters is right, if Valclair is still alive, she can help us find him. The console spits out a stick of black plastic. Amsel plucks it from the computer and hands it to you. Here. Your key to speak with Alice. A cred stick? Amsel nods. An encoded cred stick, yes. 10,000 nuyen. Alice will not show her face for less. This represents the last of my personal savings, Beto. Make this meeting count. Where do I need to go? Take the U-Bahn to Allstadt Spandau. There you will find a connecting tube that the locals refer to as the rabbit hole. You will find a method of contacting Alice there. Don't call it that in front of her, though. Word on the street is that she hates it. Please hurry. While you're out, I will be working on acquiring new contracts for the team. Alice is the best there to serve at what she does. And her services carry a price tag to match. Yo, catch you later, Crimren. Have a good one, bud. Thank you for, it's good to see you, man. Thanks for, tuning in. We'll be doing some more of this tomorrow, too. We'll be doing a lot of streams to get through this game. More often than I have been streaming, so. Then we'll be off to another speedrun, probably. Game save. Do I have any more karma? No. The U-Bahn to Meat House. Discuss your findings with Amsel. Okay. Cool. Let's go. We've already got new weapons, so let's go. I would appreciate that, man. Thanks again for coming on by. I don't know how much longer I've got. We might need to call it here. I have to find Adrian Vauclair. Look at these pinball machines. We got pinball machines! And look at that cool graffiti. Oh, pick up stuff from the bathroom floor. Item hyper. Send this item to your stash. Confirm. I wish I could give it to other party members. Let's look around, see what's going on. Nope. The only active console is this derelict span of U-Bahn platform is an old video arcade machine. The CRT monitors set to the machine's cabinet glows invitingly. Cheerful, pixelated graphics swirl and dance on the screen. Investigate the machine. At the base of the controller panel, you find a cleverly hidden input port. The port is shrouded in black plastic and appears to be approximate shape of a typical cred stick. Insert Emsil's encoded cred stick. Internal motors grip the cred stick and pull it into the machine. It disappears into the port, and the screen goes black. Moments later, a video image fills the screen. The picture is dark and grainy, a far cry from the bright, colorful sprites that previously inhabited the display. On the screen is a dimly lit office. The place looks like it was pulled straight from an old detective movie. From the Venetian blinds on the windows to the great swaths of shadow that paint the walls black. Center stage, sitting behind a large mahogany desk, is the silhouette of an impressive-looking woman in a charcoal gray suit. The tip of a cigarette glows cherry red in the shadows. She leans forward into the light, and you catch your first glimpse of Alice. Oh no! She got them blue hair bangs, them blue hair highlights. Just trying to be Hatsune Miku. Her face is all hard planes and sculpted angles. With high cheekbones and almond eyes, her lips are painted a frigid blue, but the look in her eyes is even colder. A head of lustrous black hair is interspersed with following streams of cyan light. Alice exhales a plume of smoke, then tips her cigarette into the nearby ashtray. She fixes her eyes on you, and her lips curl into a humorless smile. We're on your dime, friend. Tell me what you're looking for. I need you to find someone for me, Dr. Adrian Vauclair. She raises an eyebrow. The Dragon Slayer? Interesting. He's been missing for a long time. Yes, he has. The question is, can you find him? She looks you in the eye, and the smile disappears. Her voice is all business. If he's out there somewhere, I'll find him for you. He could be living under an assumed name in California Free State. I'd still track him down. And if he's not alive, I'll tell you where you can find his corpse. Alright, I'm satisfied. Let's talk about the job. Alice steeples her fingers. Alright, here's how this is going to work. When you give me the go-ahead, I'm going to start gathering information for you. Once I've finished, you're going to bring me a cred stick encoded with an encryption key that I'll provide you. This cred stick will have 50,000 new yen on it. Whoa! When I get my cred stick, you get your information. That is the deal. Take it or leave it. Price gouging, huh? For a neo-anarchist, you behave an awful like an old-world pioneer. Alice smiles at you sweetly. I wasn't aware that there was a difference between the two. In all seriousness, I'm charging you what the job is worth. Do you know how much work it takes to find a digital ghost? There's going to be wet work, breaking into government archives. Hell, I might even have to commission an expedition into the Sox. This is a serious undertaking, friend. Now, do we have a deal, or don't we? Alright, Alice. It's a deal. Okay, but remember, you say go, and I go. From that point on, you're on the hook to pay my fee. No turning back, no refunds. Are we square on this? I don't see what choice I have. I need that information. Good. I'll be in touch. The screen goes black. Moments later, the machine reboots. The colorful sprites that you saw when you first approached the arcade cabinet return. There's nothing more to see here. Alice is gone. Okay, where are we going? Back to home base? It's very cool that she meets you via an arcade machine, though. I like that a lot. Yo, what's up, Vorthinos? That's a name I've not heard in a long, long time. Yeah, we're playing one of the newer Shadowrun games. I casually played through Shadowrun Returns a couple years ago offline. But I I'm playing this for the Salsa Shack Summer RPG event. And as soon as we brought that up, I was like, I'm going to play one of the Shadowruns I haven't played yet. And so far, I'm really, really enjoying it. Paul Emsel. Beto, did you make contact with Alice? Yes, I did. She accepted your payment, and I ordered the search for the information we need. Very good. I can imagine this will be cheap. What was Alice's stated price? Oh boy. You're right on that. 50,000 new yen. He shrugs. It is about as I'd expected. Thankfully, we were prepared for this. I have established contact with a number of new clients. You can find information on the jobs logged on your mission computer. One of the jobs file is on there already. While you're working to earn Alice's fee, I will continue to dig for clues about Furschwing. If she is in fact roosting under the Harfield Manor, then there must be some evidence to support the fact. Dragon is a large thing to hide, after all. Be careful, Paul. Remember what happened to Monica? I will never forget. Don't worry, Vito. I'm going to conduct my investigation the old-fashioned way, through contacts, and deduction, and careful observation. I will not jack into the Matrix until this entire sorry episode is finished. It's probably wise. Except for me! I'm gonna jump on and read them forum posts. Speaking of doing things the old-fashioned way, Malid is working to recover the information off of those other DVDs. It's a painstaking process, and it will not be quick, but she is optimistic that she will be successful in time. Finally, I've been checking up on our friend, the orc with the skin grafts. I haven't heard anything back yet, but I'll keep you appraised as the situation develops. Sounds good, Paul. I'll go check up on those jobs. One last thing before you go, Beto. Samuel Beckenbauer wanted me to pass a message to you. You know him? The orc who runs the shelter across the way? Yeah, we've met. Ah, well, he has a job for you. He wouldn't discuss it with me, but he promised that it would prove worth your time. I'll keep it in mind. Okay, let's check on this job. We gotta raise a ton of money, my dudes. Oh, that's rough. Let's meet up with Samuel. Let's at least get the side quest. And maybe check on our drone. Hello again, my friend. What can I do for you? I heard that you wanted to talk about a job. Yes, I do. Thank you for coming so promptly. He takes a deep breath, slowly releases it, and looks you in the eye. Tell me, what do you know about the Humanist Poli Club? Not a lot. I don't pay much attention to politics. We'll say I've watched the news a time or two. They're an anti-metahuman hate group. He nods. The largest and most well-funded of its kind. The instigators of the Night of Rage, and the enemy of everything I stand for. What's the Night of Rage? A worldwide race riot that took place in February of 2039. Thousands of innocent metahumans were attacked, beaten, and killed. Women and children were corralled into warehouses for protection, and then burned alive when the structures were put to the torch. Oof. Fuck these dudes. This is what Humanist stands for. This is the agenda that its leaders strive to advance. They will not be satisfied until all metahumans everywhere are driven from the face of the earth. If you want me to go up against Humanists, it's gonna cost you. Yes, your Herr Amsel informed me of your business practices. Rest assured, you will be paid. Now, if we may discuss the details of the job, go ahead. He nods. Yesterday, I overheard one of my assistants talking on his comm. He was yelling, clearly agitated. I questioned him, and he confided in me. What he told me made my blood roll cold. Let me guess where this is going. Humanus is planning something, an attack of some kind. He nods. Yes, I believe so. The Berlin chapter of Humanus has arranged to acquire a large shipment of an extremely hazardous chemical. Their leader, Volker Stahl, is a vicious ideologue. It goes without saying that whatever he intends to do, it won't be good for us. I want you to infiltrate the smuggling operation that is delivering the shipment. Once you arrive at the Humanist compound, you will find out what they're planning to do with the chemical and put a stop to it. Oh, I got a special chat bubble. What makes you think he'll talk to me? I'm no more human than you are, as an elf. Many of the smugglers are metahumans. If you travel with them, Humanists will allow you into their compound. The rest will be up to you. Why would Humanists deal with a metahuman run operation? Presumably because they're not the best option available. Stall of nothing if not pragmatist. He will work with metahumans when it suits him to do so. When he's finished with them, he'll discard them and move on. Let's talk about compensation. What does this gig pay? I've contacted sister organizations across Berlin and taken up a collection. Between us, we have raised 22,000 new yen as payment. I trust this will be sufficient. I'll do it. Count me in. He nods. Excellent. I am relieved. I will make the arrangements at your meeting with the smugglers. Their leader is an elf who calls himself Maxim. Take the U-Bahn to Shatternest, and you will find him waiting there. Best of luck to you, Beto, and good hunting. Now, know that you are doing a great thing for the metahumans of Berlin. Your efforts will not go unrecognized. Let's go wreck a racist shit. Sounds good to me. How much money do I have? I have, what? 1280. Let's see if we can buy some cyberware. Let's see if we can enhance ourselves here. Let's do some cleanup. Let's do some cleanup and see if and I think we'll call it. We'll find out the other jobs next time we go live, and maybe we'll destroy the racist. That'll be good. I need cyberware. All this stuff's expensive. Induction data jack, useful deckers who don't want to sacrifice valuable headwear space. I don't know what this means. Silver Technologies basic replacement limb that adds 6 HP. That might be... I don't know what this eye data jack does, though. Oh, it's just a data jack. Data jack. Vision magnification eyes basic. Renraku's basic cyber eye replacement. Adds plus 3% to hit? Okay. Let's do that. We'll do that. Very nice, very nice. So, what is... So they said something about essence? 5. Oh, okay. I think I see what's going on. You can only spend a certain amount of essence. Because you can't just run yourself full of cyberware, I guess. That's something I'll have to look up. Alright, let's go back to home base. And we'll park ourselves in front of the computer. In front of our mission terminal. And we will see... Can't be a cyber zombie. That's too bad. That is much too bad. I'd love to be a cyber zombie. Alright, guys. Let's wrap this up for now. I'll probably be back tomorrow. We'll probably do a pretty extended session of this tomorrow. But for now, thank you guys for watching. Let's go find someone to take this party to. Let's see who's on the old Twitch arena. Is PGH still on? Okay, yeah, PGH is still on. So, our friend PGH Guitar Guy is celebrating his 5-year anniversary of streaming on Twitch. Very exciting. Let's go say hi to him and wish him well. Be like 5-year anniversary hype. That'll be the raid message. That will be the raid message. If you got the Ultros hype emote, throw that in there. If not, just say hype. Alright, let's go say hi to the homie. And I will catch you all later. See you tomorrow.